In this video, I am going to show you how to easily and quickly make a quilted flats pouch. So the first step is to choose your fabric. I chose a booby fabric that I bought off Etsy, I believe, the print. And what you want to do is cut it 27 centimeters in length and 20 centimeters in width. So I'm just going to cut the sides a little bit, as you can see. So 27 centimeters in length and 20 centimeters in width. And obviously you're going to need 2 pieces. Now the next step is to take your chalk. I like to use soap-based chalk actually, and to make some vertical lines across the outer fabric. I chose mine to be 3 centimeters apart. And you're going to repeat the same process on the second piece of outer fabric. So just drawing vertical lines 3 centimeters apart. I'm pretty sure that you know how it looks like, but here you go. Just some lines, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this step is done. Now you're going to take 2 pieces of your chosen batting, webbing, quilted piece, whatever, and you're just going to place the outer fabric on top of it, as you can see here. It's time to finally use your sewing machine, so just turn it on, pray a little, and now what we're going to do is just sew down the vertical lines that we made with the chalk, and basically quilt the outer fabric of the flat case in place. You're going to repeat the process until you get 2 beautiful quilted outer fabrics. When you're finished sewing the second one, you're just going to trim a little bit the edges, make sure they're nice and tidy. Maybe you will want to cut the threads as well. I tend not to do it on this step, but you know, why not? The tidier the better. At the end, you're going to have 2 very nice quilted outer pieces, boobies. We also need the same length and width, so 27 centimeters by 20 centimeters inner fabric. So you can choose whatever color you want. So now this is pretty much the trickiest part of the whole process. We're going to grab our outer fabric and a zipper that's longer than the outer fabric. So let's just say about 30 centimeters. And we're going to place it wrong side up. So basically the right side is facing downwards, as you can see. We're going to take our inner fabric and place it on top of the zipper. So the zipper is sandwiched in between the outer fabric and the inner fabric, and we're just going to sew down this line, down the edge of both outer fabric and the zip. As you can see, the zipper is wrong side down, sandwiched in between the outer and inner fabric or layer of the flat case. And yeah, we're just sewing downwards, vertical line, making sure that everything is tucked in place, nothing sticking out, and we backtrack the beginning and the end. It's not mandatory, but I always tend to do it. Now, this is how your little
you open this up,
creation should look like after you
turn it
finish
around,
sewing the first part. Then you flip everything over
and you stitch on top,
pull the inner and the outer pieces together,
here,
and just sew a vertical line on top, as you can see over here, to secure the fabric to the zipper a little bit more. Once you reach the bottom, you backtrack again a little bit. Something is happening with my machine. I don't know what's happening, but that's okay. And you should get a nice tidy line just like this. It doesn't really matter how thick it is, but yeah, it looks quite pretty. Now we're going to repeat everything we did, but on the other side of the zipper. So we're going to attach the second inner and outer fabric. Like in the previous step, you have the zipper facing downward. So the right side down, the wrong side up. And what you're going to do is take your second piece of outer fabric, the boobies, the quilted fabric, and you're just going to put and align everything together and make sure that the first piece of outer fabric and the second piece of outer fabric are aligned, and you just put the zipper next to the edge. And once again, you're going to grab the pink inner piece, and you're going to sandwich the zipper in between both pieces, and you're going to sew a line. After you finish this part of the process, you're going to open up the outer fabric and inner fabric, and you're just going to sew a line as you did last time, making sure that the inner fabric doesn't get caught in the needle. So we're just sewing a line, a vertical line downwards to secure the fabric to the zipper and to make it a tiny bit more prettier, I'd say. This is what it should look like after you've sewn together the two parts of the flat case. So you have two pieces of outer fabric held by a zipper and two pieces of inner fabric. So, oh god, okay, we're nearly there. So we're going to open up.
You're going to grab
both pieces,
the two outer layers, only the outer layers,
and put the outer pieces together and the inner pieces together, as you can see here.
The two inner layers, and align them.
We are going to sew right along the border, right across, all around, leaving 10 to 15 centimeters gap on the outer fabric. Do not forget that gap. It's very important. So we're going to sew, and just leave that gap. So we're going down, we're going to the side, making sure we leave about 1 centimeter seam. Backtracking as we go. I always like to backtrack in the corners, but obviously it's not mandatory. And as you cross the zipper, make sure that you backtrack a couple of times to secure it. And at the very end, the last corner, I tend to backtrack a couple of times to make sure that the stitches are secure. You should end up with something like this, and you're just going to take some scissors and cut the excess zipper and maybe tidy up a little bit, tidy up the threads. Now you're going to put your hand gently inside the gap that we left on the inner fabric and basically grab a corner and pull the case inside out. It looks like a complete disaster, but just trust me, trust the process. You could push out the corners a little bit using your fingers or maybe a pen or pencil. And yeah, just pull it a couple of times and you should get something looking like this. What you're going to do as a last step is sew across the gap that we left on the inner fabric. So just sew it shut. And then take some snippers. I have no idea what they're called, and just remove any excess threads and make the bag pretty. And here you go, you just made a quilted flat case pouch in less than half an hour, I'd say. It's one of my favorite things to do, and it sells really well at markets.